Hey y'all! In today's video, I'm going to be doing part 1 of a comparison challenge where I'm going to draw the same image twice, one freehanding it and one using the grid method. Today I will be drawing it freehand, and I'm going to leave the reference image in the top left so y'all can compare along with me. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and begin. I'm going to start by just sketching out a line for the ground and then starting to roughly block in the shape of the turtle. And it's best to start with generic and simple shapes like circles and rectangles and squares, and then to build upon those as you go. Then, with the basic shapes done of the neck and shell and head and feet, I'm going in with my kneaded eraser and erasing until it's just barely visible. And this is going to help me to not have that sketch show through. And then I'm going to go in and start to be a bit more intentional with my lines and work on the shell. And I decided to start with the shell because it can act as a good size reference for the rest of the body, and therefore help me to get my sizing as close to the reference image as possible. Now what I'm doing here is looking back and forth between my reference image and my paper to make these small sections of the shell, and this is going to help me make sure that my shell is the correct size in proportion to the other sections of it. Now with the first iteration of the shell done, I'm going to start moving on to the head. And once again, I'm just starting by being a little more intentional with my lines and slowly building up the shape of the head. Likewise, I'm going to also build up the bottom of the shell and the legs by starting with more basic shapes and simple lines, with just a bit more detail than what I had in my initial sketch. Now, once I started adding in these more details to the turtle, I noticed that the head was not quite the right size. So I decided to just erase it and try it again. And you're going to see me using the same technique I've used in other videos, where I use the end of my pencil to compare sizes on my paper and in my reference image. Now once again, I'm going to go in with my kneaded eraser and lighten everything up, and that's because I am ready to start adding in some shading. And by erasing my lines first, it lets me have less harsh edges and lets things blend together a little bit better. I like to start shading by looking at the darkest parts of my image and putting the shading there first. And it is by far not how dark it will end up being, but it gives me a place to start building up from and to go ahead and start seeing that three-dimensionality start to take place. Now that I've added some variations in the value, I can begin to add some more details, like patterns on the shell and adding in some details into the face. Once again, I decided that I wasn't happy with the side of the head in relation to the rest of the body. And since I'm slowly building up the values, I'm able to erase the head almost completely and start again. In order to help me get the right size for the head, I've looked at my photo and can see that the top of it lines up pretty well with this portion of the shell, and the bottom of it lines up pretty well with this bottom part of the shell. So as you can see, the head should be quite a bit larger than what I had it as before. Now with the head shape and size looking much better, I can get back to adding in that shading and details. With a base layer of shading in, I can go and really start to darken the shadows to help push the dimension even more. Because by adding in the deep shadows, it starts to show more detail as the lighter parts gets pushed forward and pops out. Now with the majority of the turtle done, I can start to add in a little bit more detail to the ground and its environment, which I start doing by adding in just a base layer of value to darken the surroundings. Then just to add a low level of detail to the ground, I'm going to make some marks with a dark pencil to simulate the gravel or sand that the turtle is walking on. after those few more details using my darkest pencil, I'm going to move on into bringing those highlights in. Now, because I started this drawing on toned paper, I didn't have a white of the paper to save for those highlights. So to bring them in, I'm just going to take a white colored pencil and put it on top of my drawing. And I'm also going to be using that colored pencil to help blend portions of the drawing together. And with that, it's finished. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out, and I'm super excited to see how the next one goes. The next video is going to be trying to draw this same image, but using a grid, and then we're going to compare the two drawings and see which one we like more. Let me know what you think of this drawing, and let me know if there are any video ideas you'd like me to try out in the future. I hope you all have an amazing week, and I'll see you in the next video.